What's going on, traders? Hope everybody's having a great start to their weekend. My name is Shark. Wanted to do a quick trade review here on NQ. Hit a massive trade to the short side on Friday, March 6th. 200 points, probably over 200 points on the NASDAQ 100. So I wanted to recap that trade for you guys right here and talk about my thought process. And hopefully you guys can learn something, even if it's just one thing from this video, then we will call it a win. Again, if you're enjoying this content, you want more of it, don't forget, like, subscribe, comment down below. Either way, any of that engagement is certainly appreciated. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well. It is free and helps me out tremendously. All right, so first thing I'm looking at, right? Okay, so market had a big push down after NFP, and we had a nice rally back towards the highs, right? Towards these data highs right here after a big push down, and we had that turnaround pretty much right at the open, wicking just below 24,600, and then seeing a nice push to the upside. A lot of chop then. Otherwise, for the rest of the day, you can pretty much see this balanced price range that we had created for a lot of the day and after that rally. And you can see here that we were never really able to break over, right, the data high from NFP. And, this area, of course, balanced price range can be a bit more tricky to trade, but as long as you're playing the edges, definitely some opportunities for you to be able to take advantage of. I was getting in short a lot of times in here and then getting profit stopped after taking one or two scales. So it was definitely a bit annoying not to see the follow through that you were expecting maybe for a lot of the day. But towards the end of the day, we did finally get to see the move to the downside. ADD was weak all day. The internals breadth was weak all day. The Vol D and Vol DQ was all down all day. So overall, just kind of had that bearish, mindset throughout the day. And the main thing I was looking for, right? You could have obviously shorted up here towards those range highs, but what I was looking for a little bit more confirmation, and I didn't exactly take the true confirmation trade here. Front ran it a little bit, but I'll show you guys what I did overall. Okay, so we have our balanced price range right here, and we have our equilibrium. So this is the first key, the equilibrium here on the BPR, right over the 50%. Then I'll be looking for trades into the upper part of that balanced price range, and obviously the opposite for if we are underneath the equilibrium, right? So we coming up and we've got a couple of layers of confluence. Now I'm on the 3-minute chart. We could potentially look at another time frame, but I'm just going to do this on the 3-minute for educational purposes. But I'd like to see maybe the moving averages at this point. I'm not exactly sure. But what happens here, right? If we are contained in the lower part of the balance range and coming up to retest that equilibrium, I'm looking more towards the short side, and that's what we did get here. Now, we have 3 points of confluence, in my opinion, for this trade idea, and one of them here being the first one, which we already went over, being the equilibrium test. Second one is coming into the 3-minute VPOC right here, right? That's pretty much a little bit lower than 50% of the balanced price range, but pretty close. My entry, I do believe, I was double checking this, I believe it was 24.8. And let me just double check that really quickly. Of course, now I've forgotten it. 24.823. So I got in just a little bit below VPOC. But the other thing I was looking at, right? What do we have here? Top, rejection, kind of a triple top area here. So I am considering this area as well. And I'm just curious, if we come back and look left, what kind of happens in that area too? If we look left, right, we have a clear area of supply here that the buyers kept on coming into unable to break over. And this is the area where I took my short, right? And the first thing I'm looking for is this break, right? We have to start to really break. Now, we had some fake outs here, look up below and fail, so there was always that potentiality. But this area here, we can see we attacked it right here. And what is that? It's 24, 780 thereabouts, 775. But you can see right here as well, an attack right here. If this was extended, an attack, look below and fail, look below and fail, as we already had mentioned. So this is pretty much the bottom of the range, and this is going to give us that break of structure right here. Boom, we get the displacement finally down. Now again, entries are up. Let me take out these arrows. Entries are up anywhere in this area here for the entry zone, and this is our clear break of structure. Now I front ran the break, right? But the second trade, and I guess maybe if you're looking for more confirmation, is this candle coming up right here. We have the displacement coming up, retesting, backtesting the balanced price range, and there we could take our short with a risk, just above. Right, if we see some candles close back into the balanced price range, we know we are wrong. But this displacement finally gives us that confirmation or potential confirmation of the downtrend coming in. The other thing I'm watching is the low right here from about what is this, 1240. So it is 24,740. Watching this low as well, and that's really the kicker for me. It's a little bit lower than the low here from 1050, but I think that this is fair. Either way, you get a little zone, right? And you can do that if you'd like. But this is the confirmation, but getting below this is the true change in the state of delivery for the market. This is the start with the break, but this really getting under is giving us the juice here to command some authority from the sellers, and that's exactly what we do get. And I was looking for the lows once again. I did also kind of post a slight trade kind of walkthrough as this was happening in real time, calling out some levels I was watching. And I do believe I can go back here and check on my Twitter exactly what I did right. I think it was break under 700, 24,700, and we'd be likely to see the lows again. Let me just double check really quickly here. Okay, break and accept, yeah, under 24,700, and we see the lows again, and that is exactly what we got all the way down. And this is just the 30-minute low here. This is the 30-minute high, and we traveled all the way back down to the 30-minute range lows. I didn't get the exact bottom, but I pretty much got out, I believe, at 24,608. So you can do the math there. Entry in the 24,820s all the way down here. If I wanted to, I could have added right in this area as a potentiality, but I did not in this case. End of the day on Friday, wasn't interested in that, but normally that is an add spot. Either way, or an original entry right there if you did not get this type of trade. Either way, boom, displace. Okay, then we lock in. We made a lower low out of the balanced price range right here, coming in, locking in a lower high. You can even take the short here, and if you're using moving averages and not price structure, even have double confluence with the 9 and 20 here on the 3-minute right below. Boom, and then it's just a matter of taking profits through the momentum on the way and moving that trailing stop with you. So there you have it. Just an absolutely beautiful way to end the week, and really icing on the cake, because earlier in the week I did get, I believe it was yesterday, Thursday, I got a 200-point trade as well. So that's 400 points total in 2 trades. Just absolutely unbelievable. Really loving this VIX being elevated right now, and it's just a fantastic time if you are trading with appropriate size and managing risk, because of course with the VIX so high, we are seeing some massive candles in any direction. As you can see here, as we kind of hit that 30-minute low from basically 600, we bounced all the way up into about 105 points here in one 3-minute candle. So of course that is super tricky. So mind your sizing. Either way, I hope you learned something and have a great rest of the weekend. Take care.